All right. Now, I want you to look at your screen. Some of you recognize this individual. But what do you see? Obviously, you see a hunter. She has unalived a deer. Why? Why? You can't say it's for food. I don't buy that. She's actually a millionaire. She does not need to hunt. She don't need to hunt for food. You did not unalive that deer for food. I don't buy it. She did it for fun. And they all do it for fun. And they would never unalive dogs for fun. Hands down, the most hypocritical. I mean, you're at the top of the list. This is the number one hypocrisy. Right along with whatever else might be number one or high on the list. This is high on the list. This is number one. You can't be any more of a hypocrite. Because I guarantee you, she would not be okay with doing that to a dog. And if I were to unalive a dog and then hold up the dog's head to take a photo, people would accuse me of being evil. And she would definitely not co-sign with me doing the same thing, only with a dog. Look at what she wrote. She said, I'm always in awe of God's creation, in his ways, in his plan for my life. It's always a good reminder. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Easy to forget, easy to think that you're doing that in times you really aren't sometimes. But God disciplines those he loves the most. What is she? Thankful for his guidance and protection. Thankful for the lesson in patience. I've always wanted to be responsible for my own food, especially the meat I eat, because we all know how our system treats animals, but it sure isn't easy. She said, we all know how our system treats animals. I don't want people to be confused. What she is talking about is how animals are said to be abused in these slaughterhouses. I believe that's a reference to the abuse in slaughterhouses. So is that really a concern of yours? They abuse these animals in slaughterhouses, so it's a good thing for her to just go out and unalive them directly herself. Okay. She said, the world tries to keep us separate from God's creation and take away our ability to provide for ourselves. Interesting. That is an interesting way to look at it. She said the world tries to keep us separate from God's creation. In other words, the world, people, we create grocery stores and provide the meat. You don't have to go out and unalive deer. And that, in her mind, is a bad thing. Go out and unalive these animals yourself. She said, but I finally did it. Look at that. I finally did it. I found myself losing focus, waiting for the perfect shot. And I realized those thought patterns are similar to what take place in a fight for me on off days. She is an MMA fighter. For those who don't know, this is Rose Namajunas, UFC fighter, former UFC champion. She said she was losing focus, waiting for the perfect shot, and then realized that that's the thought pattern that she has on off days when she's fighting in the cage. She said, I was able to bring my focus back with one word: patience. I have things to work on, but I still have faith in achieving my goals. God willing, it's a new day. Now, a few people got on her case, as you could probably imagine. But I want to look at this one. This person said, creepiest post I've seen today, with the combination of religion, description, and pictures of a dead animal. It's not like you're starving and don't have money to buy meat. You do this for fun and a hobby. I was admiring you for the work you put in. Going next door to whatever, his jumbled English. He said, you're going to lose many followers with this post. For fun and a hobby. Just imagine if I unalive dogs for fun and a hobby. Would you, as a, extremist Christian, always talking about God? She's always talking about Jesus, always talking about God, always praying. Yet, unalives God's creations for fun. Don't talk to me about, it's healthier to hunt and get your own meat. Don't talk to me about that nonsense. She, as a fighter, athlete, she believes she needs meat. She's one of those people who believes that she needs meat, and we don't. And I believe that she knows that humans don't need to eat meat and that we're not designed to eat meat. We're just not. We are herbivores. Our anatomy, our makeup, biologically, the way we're designed, from the chemicals in our body, our teeth, digestive system, metabolism, everything. We are herbivores. We're no different from other plant-eating animals on this earth. We're not carnivores. We're not omnivores. That's why we have to burn meat before we eat it. And even after we burn it, it's the primary source of cancers and other illnesses in humans because we're not supposed to be eating it. But of course, she's not willing to go vegan. And understand, when I'm talking about her, it's not personal. I'm talking about all dog lovers who hunt. And especially those dog lovers who hunt and are Jesus freaks. Christian zealots. Like her. They preach this whole love, love, love. Where's the love for that deer? Where's the love for that deer? See, some people in this world, there's her dogs that she no doubt released on the deer. A lot of people, they don't have a brain of their own. This is what it seems like to me. They don't have their own independent thoughts. They just go along with whatever everybody else is doing. Some may call it critical thinking skills. It's the closest thing that I could find. And that involves analyzing information objectively, forming reasoned judgments, and making decisions based on evidence. It's a skill. They call it a skill that helps you understand the world around you, solve problems, and make informed choices. So it's actually a critical skill. It's an important skill that you actually need. And it seems like a lot of people in this world, they don't have it. They don't have it at all. And these people are the best representatives, in my opinion. Reasoning, using logical arguments and evidence to support claims. Understanding the meaning of information and drawing conclusions based on it. Assessing the credibility and validity of sources and information. Identifying problems, analyzing situations, and devising solutions. People lack critical thinking skills. Rose, how can you be such a godly person and do something like this? How can you be into this? Unaliving animals for fun. Also, how can you be such all this godly person and all this kind of stuff, yet object when this same thing is done to these nasty, inbred, worthless mutants? Which is what actually should be done. If humans are going to unalive animals for fun, they should only do this to dogs. If you're going to unalive animals for fun, you may as well unalive the animals that are not even supposed to be here. Unalive the animals that are not even really natural animals. Unalive the ones that cause us the most problems, that attack our young primarily. Yeah, you want to unalive animals for fun? Exclusively unalive dogs. That's the only thing that makes sense if you're using your critical thinking skills. You don't unalive a deer, a natural animal that's not bothering you and doesn't want to bother you. And you're doing this for fun. Don't talk to me about meat. And look at how sick and sadistic it is, holding the deer's head up to pose for a photo. Could you imagine doing this with a dog? Holding that nasty mutt's head up to pose for a photo. Can you imagine the outrage from dog lovers? I'm going to try my best to actually do this. I'm going to find, it has to be around here somewhere. There are actually areas, I think, of the United States where you can hunt dogs. Like, dogs are on the list of the animals that you're allowed to hunt. And I'm going to make sure that it's, legal. Unalive a dog, hold the head. Yeah, no, I'll never do this. I will never, ever do this. But I would like to see the backlash. I'd like to see the reaction from dog lovers. I guarantee you they would be outraged. Each and every one of them would be outraged. They would project me as a demon, as the most evil person on the planet. No doubt about it. But they get to do this to natural animals and be looked at and projected as the pillar of society. Oh, the loving, God-fearing woman. Oh, I love you, Rose. God bless you, oh Jesus. You get to be projected as an angel on earth after doing this to a harmless, natural animal that does not cause humans any stress, does not unalive humans. It's dogs that have sent thousands, millions at this point to their grave. It's dogs that mutilate tens of thousands every year. I am not about to sit here and go over all the ways dogs impact us in a negative way. I'll be here for too long. But it's only dogs that have a negative impact on our existence. And it's those exact so-called animals that y'all would throw a fit over. If I were to do this, if anybody were to do this with one of these worthless, inbred, turd mutant parasites with legs. I cannot wait for the day when all of these mutants are euthanized. And there are a lot of people in the world like this. Their mind is put together by the people around them. Her brain is primarily groomed by this guy right here. Primarily. If you go to her social media, and she is well known in MMA, in the UFC, for being a groomed person, a groomed candidate. Her boyfriend basically runs her life, tells her how to look, how to talk, how to do everything. This is well known in the MMA UFC circles. Look at her profile. What he has done, and I'm talking about her boyfriend, Pat Barry, what he has done is he has made her unattractive. This is deliberate. This is deliberate. He purposely wanted her to look like a boy. Because in his mind, and I have to admit that there is some truth to this, there is no place for thirst traps. You're an athlete and you do this for a living. You're not going to turn your social media platform into a thirst trap where you fishing for comments and trying to look good nonstop. It's not going to be based on your looks and you fishing for comments. That takes too much out of a female fighter. They be too preoccupied with that nonsense. And I believe that he is behind why she does not look appealing to men. Look at it. Look at this. There is nothing arousing or exciting about her at all. Despite the fact that she's actually and has always been seen as an attractive woman. But he makes her shave her head, no makeup. Don't ever wear makeup. Shave your head bald and have an ugly shaved head. Because remember, she used to have that high top, the spikes at the top, and it looked more attractive. The problem is that makes her look more feminine. He wanted to go for the haircut that looks the most boyish. so that men aren't drooling over her. You don't need that in your life as an MMA fighter. You don't need to be drooled on. You don't need goofy comments all day. And there's a lot of truth to that. But I'm pointing it out to show that people's minds are actually groomed. All of our minds are like this. It's actually put together and grown by the world around us. People around us shape our thoughts and perceptions. And she is almost exclusively a product of what other people have said she should be. Don't be attractive. Don't be all looking for comments. Don't be trying to look all hot and sexy and beautiful and all this type of nonsense. Right? And remember, she made this video and she got too many compliments when she made this one. See how her hair is kind of long in this one right here? She actually got a number of comments saying, hey, you look pretty. You look nice. And what did she do? She never let her hair grow that long again. Ever again. That's why that's the first time you saw her with hair this long. Totally. She is just following the marching orders of Pat Barry. And she's obviously co-signs it. Like, yeah, you're right. You're my boyfriend. I don't need to look for attention and compliments from men. But you see, the world also told her that dogs are man's best friend and that you should love them. And at this point, she really does love these nasty, annoying, inbred mutant turds. Even though she shuns away from their licks. Remember, that dog that was licking on her face, she's still showing signs that she's annoyed by him. She's just one of those typical brainwashed nutter. Typical brainwashed nutter. That's just one of the other things that people told her. Hey, this is what people do. People love dogs. You're not a normal person if you don't love dogs. Okay, let me get a dog. Oh, let me get 2 dogs. I want to be normal now. I want to be accepted by the world. People told her, hey, you should be a Christian. And then people told, hey, you should hunt. Now, you're claiming to be some animal lover. Aren't these people, you claim to be some animal lover, yet you unalive animals for fun. And there, you could never see doing this to a dog. Dog lovers, explain this hypocrisy for us all. Explain how y'all can contradict yourselves like this. Okay? You're probably sitting up eating a pork chop, chicken, turkey, steak as I speak. And your dog is in the home. Okay? And y'all, even if I were to have a plate of dog meat and started to eat it, y'all would throw a fit. Because for whatever reason, y'all view dogs as superior to natural animals when they're actually inferior. And that's not my opinion, that's a fact. Even biologically, dogs are inferior to the natural animals of the earth. And y'all actually believe that it's the other way around. And that right there is the result of your own ignorance. You being brainwashed, being a sheep, having your mind put together by the world around you. That's not us. Dog culture critics have critical thinking skills. We're tapped in and utilize. And that's the good thing about having critical thinking skills or exercising critical thinking skills. Once you get into the habit, it gets easier and easier and you become more and more effective. yeah, shout out to everybody. It is Saturday. Hope y'all's weekend is dog free and going well. I'm going to be producing content, a little more content tonight, and as well as tomorrow. And I hope you all can join me. And I'll also tap in with the members a little later here. And I hope you all can join me as we continue with this crusade.